Welcome back to our ongoing exploration into the source material. It is Thursday, February 19th, 2026, and today we are walking into what feels like a minefield.
Oh, absolutely. It's a collision course, really.
I mean it literally and metaphorically,
Yeah.
because we're taking two concepts that essentially form the bedrock of how we think we're supposed to live, and we are just smashing together to see if anything survives.
It's definitely going to make some people uncomfortable.
Right, because on one side we have the lesson we learned on the playground in Sunday school, and from basically every corporate HR seminar we have ever sat through.
Honesty is the best policy.
Exactly. Be transparent. Vulnerability is a superpower. Wear your heart on your sleeve, because that is how you build trust with people.
Which, I mean, is a really beautiful sentiment.
It is. It really is. But then, on the exact opposite side, we have the most ruthless, effective strategy manual ever written, Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
Yeah.
And right there, just staring us right in the face, is the line that keeps me up at night. All warfare is based on deception.
It creates an immediate, visceral kind of cognitive dissonance.
Yes, it makes you feel like you have to choose sides. Like either I'm a good, honest person who gets walked all over,
Or you're a strategic mastermind who is essentially just a liar.
Spot on. So today we are tackling episode 8, titled Deception, Clarity, and Misdirection, the ethics line. My big question for you to kick this off is simply, can you actually be strategic in the modern world without becoming a bad person?
That is the question of the century.
Come on.
And I really love that we're framing it this way, because usually when people hear the word deception right alongside Sun Tzu, they recoil.
Yeah, they get defensive.
They do. They think we are about to teach some kind of instruction manual on gaslighting or fraud or how to manipulate your spouse.
Which, just to be crystal clear, is not what we are doing here today.
Absolutely not. I mean, if you are using these tactics to lie about concrete facts, you're not a strategist. You are just a con artist. We're talking about something much more nuanced.
Okay.
We are talking about information discipline.
Information discipline. I like the sound of that, though it does sound very military.
It is, but it's also deeply personal. Think about the world we live in right now. It's an attention economy.
Oh, for sure.
It demands that you post your breakfast, share your outrage, live tweet your breakup, and, explain your career moves before you have even signed the actual contract.
It really feels like if you don't share it, it didn't even happen.
Exactly. And that pressure creates a massive vulnerability. We are basically leaking our leverage constantly. So the mission for today's discussion is to draw that ethics line.
Right.
We need to figure out how to keep your intentions dark and impenetrable, what Sun Tzu calls being formless, while simultaneously maintaining the high integrity of a Stoic philosopher like Marcus Aurelius. Text overlay 1. Information discipline is not dishonesty.
If this episode helps you, please hit like and subscribe for the next one.
So let's start with the source text itself, Sun Tzu. We really need to look at what he actually means by deception, because as we said, it is not about lying.
Okay, hit me with the quote. Let's hear it.
He writes, "When able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive."
Seem unable. See inactive. I mean, I have to be honest with you. That goes against literally everything in modern corporate culture.
Oh, completely.
We live in the era of the hustle. If I am working hard, I want credit for it.
Yeah.
I want my boss to see me sweating. I want the world to know I'm grinding. But Sun Tzu seems to be saying, hide the grind.
And that is exactly why most people fail to gain any real traction in their lives. They're constantly telegraphing.
Telegraphing, like the old Morse code machines.
In a way, yeah. But I mean it more in the boxing or poker sense. If a boxer tenses his shoulder muscle 3 seconds before he throws a right hook, what happens?
The other guy sees it coming and blocks it. Or worse, he counters.
Exactly. That tensing of the muscle is a tell. It is telegraphing the intent. In our daily lives, we are constantly telegraphing our anxieties, our insecurities, and our next moves.
We just broadcast our hand before we even place a bet. Can you give me a real-world example of this? Because I feel like I might be doing this without even realizing it.
Sure. Think about the office environment.
Oh?
There is always that one person who is absolutely terrified about their job security. Maybe there are rumors of layoffs going around. What does that person do?
Oh, they start running around,
Yeah.
sending emails at midnight. They loudly talk about how busy they are in the break room, like, oh man, I'm so swamped. I have so many projects.
Correct. They are trying to signal value, but what they are actually telegraphing is fear. They are broadcasting instability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To a predator, or just a ruthless manager that signals blood in the water, it shows that this person is reactive, not proactive.
So by trying to look busy and essential, they actually end up looking weak.
Yes, because they have zero information discipline. They are letting their internal emotional state leak out into the external world. Sun Tzu says the skillful commander takes up a position that cannot be defeated and then waits for the enemy to make a mistake.
And you cannot do that if you are flailing around. Text overlay 2, stop telegraphing your next move.
You really can't.
But wait a minute, I have to push back here a little bit. Isn't there something to be said for authenticity?
How do you mean?
Well, if I am stressed and I hide it and I just act like a robot, isn't that being fake? I feel like we are constantly told that modern leaders should be vulnerable.
This is where we have to be very careful with our definitions. Authenticity does not mean the unfiltered broadcasting of every fleeting thought that crosses your mind.
Okay, that is a really good distinction.
Think of it as the general in the tent. Imagine you are a soldier on the front lines. It is the night before a major battle. You're cold, you're scared, and you're looking to your leader for cues on how to feel.
Right. I want to know we're going to be okay.
Now imagine the general comes out of his tent. He is pulling his hair out. He's grabbing soldiers by the shoulders and screaming, "I don't know if the supply lines are going to hold. I had a nightmare that we lost. I am so anxious right now." Is that authentic?
I mean, technically, yes. He is authentically sharing his feelings.
Yeah.
But as a soldier, I'm absolutely terrified. I am probably going to desert.
Exactly. He has completely destroyed morale in the name of authenticity. The general has a duty to process his fear privately.
Like with his own advisors or in a journal?
Yes, so that he can present a form of stability to his troops. That is not lying. That is leadership.
Wow. So information discipline is really about protecting the people you lead or even the people you love from your own unprocessed chaos.
Beautifully put. It is a martial art of silence. And it breaks down into 3 plain English concepts based on our source material.
Let's hear them.
First, do not overshare. Silence is an active strategic choice, not just a pause between your words.
Okay.
Second, do not telegraph. Keep your inner aim, your true objective, totally private until the action is fully ready to launch.
And the third?
Timing. You choose the audience and the moment wisely. You do not let the moment choose you.
Do not let the moment choose you. That really hits home because how often do we just blurt things out simply because the silence felt a little awkward?
All the time. And that is exactly where we lose our power.
Okay, I am buying into the strategy of this. I really am. But I still have that ethical itch.
The morality of it.
Yeah. I need to know where the line is. Because if I am hiding my intentions, am I not, by definition, deceiving you? If we are negotiating and I don't tell you I am desperate to sell, aren't I withholding the truth?
This is the core tension of the entire episode. We really need to define the ethics line. And to do that, we have to bring in the Stoics.
Like Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, the Stoics believed in logos, universal reason, and truth. For a Stoic, lying is an offense against nature. It actually degrades your soul.
So Sun Tzu says deceive, and Aurelius says be true. How do we reconcile that without our heads exploding?
We reconcile it by distinguishing between facts and intent.
Unpack that for me.
Privacy is not dishonesty. You are under absolutely no moral obligation to reveal your entire mind to someone who has not earned it.
Okay, I'm following.
Let's go back to that negotiation example. If you tell the other side, "I am desperate to sell this car because I need money for rent," you are freely handing them leverage that they will use to hurt you.
Right, they'll lowball me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is not ethical transparency. That is just foolishness.
Makes sense.
However, and here's the line, if they ask you, "Has this car ever been in an accident?" and you say no when it actually has.
Well, that's just a straight up lie.
That is deception of fact. That is fraud. That violates the ethics line. You have moved from protecting your strategy to faking reality.
I see. So withholding the why regarding my motivation is strategy, but faking the what regarding the facts is lying.
Precisely. And this ties into the psychology of boundaries. Boundaries are not manipulation. Setting a limit on what you will discuss is a form of self-respect.
It's not an attack.
No. Our sources from clinical psychology describe boundaries as structures for safety. When you say, "I'm not discussing my financial situation right now," you aren't attacking the other person. You are protecting the container of the interaction. Text overlay 3. Privacy protects your integrity.
That reframing helps a lot. privacy protects your integrity. Because if I spill everything, I am actually making it harder for us to have a clean, respectful interaction.
Correct. And the Stoic influence demands that when you do speak, it must be true. Clarity is still required when it affects commitments and trust.
So no half-truths.
None. If you speak, let it be ironclad. The strategy is to be formless regarding your plans, meaning the enemy doesn't know how or when you will act, but to be solid as a rock regarding your promises and ethics.
Formless in plans, solid in ethics. That feels like a code I can actually live by.
It is really the only way to survive in a high-information world.
But here is the catch. Even if we understand this intellectually, we kind of suck at doing it. Why is it so hard for us to just shut up?
Because the real enemy isn't out there. It's in here.
Inside the house.
Inside your own head. Self-deception. Sun Tzu warns specifically against the hasty temper and acting out of pique. He says a general should never mobilize his forces just because he is irritated.
Oh, man. I feel called out. I've definitely sent my last email reply just because I was annoyed.
We all have. But that is what the research calls emotional leakage.
Emotional leakage. Is that a technical term?
It comes from the work of researchers like Paul Ekman, who studied microexpressions. But in a broader psychological sense, it refers to the way our internal state leaks out through our tone, our body language, and most importantly, our word count. Text overlay 4. Silence soothes anxiety.
Our word count.
Yes. Think about when you are nervous. You talk less or do you talk more?
Oh, way more. I ramble. I fill the air. I start explaining things that nobody even asked about.
Exactly. We are talking to soothe ourselves. The silence feels like a threat, so we just throw words at it to make it go away.
Talking yourself into a panic almost.
Yes. But in doing so, we are handing over intelligence. We are broadcasting insecurity. We are telling the other person, I am insecure right now. I am seeking your approval.
That is painful to hear. Seeking approval.
The source material on negotiation from Chris Voss, the former FBI hostage negotiator, has this incredibly profound insight. He says, liars use more words.
What?
Truth is simple. I did not do it. The price is $5. No. Insecurity, on the other hand, is highly complex. It needs a backstory. It needs a justification. It needs you to understand why.
So when you over-explain, you look weak.
When you start over-explaining, you are signaling that you do not believe you have the authority to just let the facts stand on their own. You are practically begging to be understood.
A Sun Tzu general doesn't beg.
A general issues commands. He states facts. He does not ask the enemy for permission to exist.
This is deep stuff. It is really about self-worth, isn't it?
Information discipline is effectively a measure of self-worth. It is looking at the world and saying, my thoughts and my plans are valuable. I will not give them away for free.
Okay. I want to take this from the philosophical to the very practical. We have 3 scenarios here from the sources that I think everyone deals with. Work, relationships, and habits.
Perfect.
I want to walk through how we usually mess this up and how to apply this ethical deception or privacy to fix it. Let's start with scenario 1, work. Specifically, negotiation or project planning. The stakes are usually high here.
Okay. The most common mistake here is what we call premature promising.
Is that when you promise something to your boss just to get them off your back?
Yes. You are in a meeting, the pressure is on, you feel that hasty temper or anxiety rising up in your chest, so you just blurt out, I can get that done by Tuesday, or I can definitely hit that revenue target.
Even though you haven't checked the data.
Exactly. You don't know if it's possible, you just want to relieve the tension of the moment.
And now you're trapped. You have telegraphed a capability you don't actually have.
Correct. And when you inevitably miss that deadline, your integrity takes a hit. You violated the Stoic rule. If you say it, it must be true.
So what is the fix? How does the information disciplined person handle that pressure cooker?
The fix is calm boundaries and the premortem.
A premortem.
This is a concept championed in our decision-making sources. A postmortem is an autopsy. You look at why the patient died after the fact. A premortem happens before you even start. You assume the project has failed, and you ask, why did it fail?
So you basically panic in private before the meeting starts.
Exactly. You do the panic work in the dark. You realize, oh, if I promise Tuesday, I will fail because the software always crashes on Mondays.
Right.
So when you walk into the meeting, you don't say, I'll try for Tuesday. You say, given the risks, Friday is the deliverable date.
You sound so much more confident when you say it like that.
Because you aren't guessing. You are hiding the internal calculation, the panic, the risk assessment, and only showing the result. That is information discipline. You share only what is necessary for the next step. Avoid premature promises. Text overlay 5. Negotiation requires calm silence.
I love that. Moving to example 2, relationships, hard conversations.
This is the real minefield.
Yeah. Because my instinct when I am mad is to either shut down completely, give the silent treatment, or to just explode and say things I deeply regret later.
Those are the two extremes of poor discipline. The silent treatment is weaponizing silence. It is pure manipulation. It's trying to hurt the other person by withholding your presence. That absolutely violates our ethics line.
Okay, so silence can be a weapon. We definitely don't want that.
But the explosion, the word salad, is also a failure. That is leakage. You are dumping your emotional chaos onto your partner simply because you can't hold it yourself.
So what is the middle path here?
The fix is clear intent plus privacy. We found this phrase in the relationship therapy sources, and I think it is brilliant. You say, I value our relationship, but I need to set a boundary here.
I value our relationship, but I need to set a boundary here.
It completely changes the game. It affirms the connection, saying, I am not attacking you, but it protects the self. If you are in a heated argument, information discipline looks like saying, I am feeling too angry to have a productive conversation right now. I am going to take a walk. We can talk in 1 hour.
That is the formless general again. You aren't letting the enemy, which in this case is the anger itself, not your partner, draw you into a bad position.
Exactly. You are retreating to high ground to regain your composure. That protects the relationship. Text overlay 6. Boundaries are not weapons.
Okay, example 3. Habits. This is the one that really surprised me in the research. We are talking about goals. Going to the gym, starting a business, writing a novel.
This is the substitution effect, and it is fascinating.
What exactly is the substitution effect?
It is a psychological phenomenon where the mere announcement of an action gives your brain a premature reward. Let's say you decide, I'm going to run a marathon.
Okay, I am pumped. I am going to run a marathon.
So what is the very first thing you do?
I buy shoes, and then I post a picture of the shoes on social media with a hashtag like marathon training.
And everyone likes the photo. They comment, you go, you're so inspiring.
And I feel great.
That is the problem. You feel great. Your brain releases dopamine. It feels like you have already done something virtuous. You have substituted the social approval for the actual labor.
Wow.
The research shows that people who announce their goals loudly are statistically less likely to achieve them.
Because I already got the reward.
You ate the dessert before you ate your vegetables, so when the alarm goes off at 5 in the morning the next day and it is raining outside, you don't have the hunger to get up. You already got your likes.
That is devastating.
Yeah.
We are sabotaging ourselves for a little dopamine hit from a blue thumbs up.
We really are. So the fix is Sun Tzu's principle, seem inactive.
Be a secret agent about your own life.
Yes. Stop announcing your goals. Reduce the performance for an audience. Focus on proof actions.
Proof actions.
Do the work in the dark. Let the result be the announcement. Do not post about the training. Post the photo of you actually crossing the finish line. Or, honestly, better yet, don't post at all. Just be the person who ran the marathon.
Proof speaks louder than posts.
It builds a completely different kind of confidence. It builds self-trust. You know you did it, not for the audience, but for yourself. Text overlay 7. Proof speaks louder than posts.
I feel like I need to delete my social media apps right now.
You don't have to delete them, just discipline them.
Fair enough. Okay, we have covered the theory and the examples, but I want to give the listener and myself a way to actually practice this, because old habits die hard. We have a guided exercise from the sources called the Signal Audit.
This is a highly practical tool to regain control of your information flow. Think of it as a checklist for your mind.
I'm going to invite the listener to actually do this with us right now. You don't have to close your eyes if you were driving, but just turn your focus inward. Let's audit our signals.
Step 1. Name the objective in one sentence. What are you actually trying to achieve right now? Is it getting a promotion, saving a marriage, launching a side hustle?
Got it. I am thinking of mine.
Next, identify what you have been signaling unintentionally. Be brutally honest here. Are you showing fear, desperation, anger? Have you been complaining to coworkers?
Oof. Yeah, I have definitely been complaining about the workload to people who can't even fix it. That is a leak.
That is a massive leak. It signals helplessness. Then identify what you should keep private for now. What part of the plan needs to bake longer?
Probably the fact that I am looking for other opportunities, or the specific strategy I'm using to get the project done.
Keep that in the dark. Next, choose what you will communicate clearly. Remember, we aren't going totally silent. We are being disciplined. What is the one true thing you can say that actually moves the ball forward?
Instead of complaining, I could say, I am focused on delivering this specific result by Friday.
Perfect. It is clear, it is professional, and it completely hides the anxiety. Then, choose one boundary phrase you can say calmly. Have it ready in your back pocket for when people push you.
Something like, I am not ready to discuss that yet.
Exactly. Memorize it. Because when the adrenaline hits, you will forget it if you don't have it memorized.
And the last step.
Finally,
Repeat.
choose one proof action you will do today. Not talk about, do.
One proof action. Got it.
And close this audit with a calm integrity check. Ask yourself, does this protect trust and truth? If the answer is yes, you are walking the ethics line. Text overlay 8. Audit your signals weekly.
I love that check. Does this protect trust and truth? It keeps us grounded.
It prevents this strategy from becoming sociopathic. It keeps it profoundly human.
Now, before we start wrapping up, I want to run through a rapid-fire round of common mistakes because I know I'm going to try this and I know I'm going to mess it up. We found 5 common pitfalls in the material.
Let's troubleshoot them.
Mistake number 1, oversharing to fill awkward silences. This is my personal nemesis. The elevator ride. The lull in a meeting.
The fix here is simple. Count to 3 in your head before speaking. Embrace the pause. Realize that in a negotiation, the person who speaks first usually loses leverage. Let the silence just sit there and makes you look confident, not awkward.
Count to 3. Okay, mistake number 2, lying to avoid conflict. The classic white lie.
Oh, I can't come to your party because my cat is sick.
Right, we do it all the time.
The fix is to use a refusal phrase. Say, I can't make it, or that won't work for me. You do not owe anyone an excuse. When you give a fake excuse, you are telegraphing that you feel guilty for saying no.
Wow. Mistake number 3, leaking anger through tone. You are saying the right words, but your voice sounds like you want to murder someone.
The fix is the 24-hour rule. If you feel the pulse in your neck, do not hit send. Do not reply. Sun Tzu says, no general should fight out of pique. Wait until the chemistry in your blood actually settles.
Mistake number 4, assuming privacy is sneaky. We talked about this, but that guilt is real.
The fix is to reframe privacy as protecting the project. You aren't hiding, you are incubating. You are a gardener protecting a seedling from a storm.
And mistake number 5, signaling before you are ready to act. Talking a big game.
The fix. Move first, talk later. Let the action itself be the signal. Text overlay 9. Move first, talk later.
Move first, talk later. That really belongs on a t-shirt.
It is the ultimate summary of this entire philosophy.
We have covered so much ground today, from ancient warfare to Stoic philosophy, modern psychology, and negotiation tactics. Could you synthesize this for us? What are the key pillars we need to walk away with?
Absolutely. Here is the recap.
Let's hear them.
First, deception in Sun Tzu is about protecting your shape, not lying about facts.
Right.
Second, information discipline prevents you from telegraphing your moves. Stop giving away your leverage by broadcasting your anxiety.
Huge.
Third, the ethics line is drawn at integrity. Privacy is not dishonest.
Protect the container.
Fourth, the real enemy is your own need to over-explain out of insecurity. Liars use more words.
Truth is simple.
Fifth, in work, share only what is necessary to advance the goal.
Use that pre-mortem.
Sixth, in relationships, set boundaries clearly without recognizing silence.
I value our relationship, but I need to set a boundary here.
And seventh, stop performing your goals for others and start proving them to yourself. Text overlay 10. Integrity is your fortress.
Integrity is your fortress. It is about building a wall that keeps the chaos out and keeps your peace in.
And when you have that fortress, you can navigate the world with true confidence. You are not reactive anymore, you are strategic.
And that is the goal. To be the calm general, not the panicked soldier.
Exactly.
Well, next time we are taking this even further. Episode 9 is titled Intelligence. Seeing clearly without obsession, we will talk about how to gather truth, how to get that foreknowledge Sun Tzu talks about, without getting paranoid or obsessed.
That is the crucial next step. Once you discipline your own signals, you need to learn how to read the signals of the world accurately.
I cannot wait for that. I'm going to be practicing my silence until then.
Good luck with that.
Thanks for being here. If you want the full series, check the playlist. And please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Pass SS.